Welcome back to the channel. Now, today we're looking at factorizing some quadratics. So we've got 3 up here. But what you'll notice is that each one of them, the coefficient of the x squared is just 1. And so that's the ones we're going to look at factorizing in this video, then we'll do some harder ones next time. So let's kick off with the first one. How do we factorize something like this? Well, to begin with, we need to find 2 numbers that will multiply to the constant term, which is the number on the end. So this is minus 54. But at the same time, those 2 numbers that we select must add together to give you the coefficient of the x term, the middle one there, which is minus 3. So we're going to start thinking of some numbers, 2 numbers that add to minus 3, but times to give you minus 54. So I think let's go to B, minus 9 and positive 6, minus 9, and then positive 6, because minus 9 add 6 will give me minus 3, and then minus 9 times 6 gives me minus 54 when you times them. So those are the 2 numbers. We're going with this one, minus 9 and 6. So what do we do now? Well, we need to take our quadratic and we rewrite it. So we're going to write it like this. So we'll have x squared, that's fine. But then instead, we're now going to write minus 9x and then plus 6x. And then put your minus 54 in on the end. So something like this. And now, what do we do from here? From here, we want to factorize from the first 2 terms. So the common factor there is x. So we can take an x out, and we're left with x minus 9. Then what do we do? Well, then we want to factorize the second 2 parts here. So what's common there, I think, well, just a 6, isn't it? So if I pull out a 6 from there, then I'll be left with x minus 9. And a clue that you've done it correctly here is this. If you factorize this properly, you'll get these 2 brackets that are exactly the same. So do look out for that. If you don't have these 2 brackets the same, then it's rubbish and you've got to do it again. So now that these 2 are good, I can factorize out that whole bracket from here. So I'll be left with x minus 9 and x plus 6. And that would be the first one factorized. Now we'll try the second one. So again, pick 2 numbers that are going to times to give you the constant term. This time that's minus 8. But at the same time, those 2 numbers must add up to the coefficient of the middle term there, the x term, which is just 7. And so what numbers are these going to be? I think we're going to need 8 and minus 1 this time. So 8 and minus 1. And 8 and minus 1. So 8 take away 1 gives me 7, and 8 times by minus 1 will give me minus 8. So now what should we do? Let's go and rewrite our quadratic now. So we'll have x squared, but then plus 8x, and then minus 1x or minus x, and then take away 8. So there we go, we've got it. And now what should we do? We'll start factorizing. So we factorize just from the first 2 terms to begin with. So we can take out an x again, and then we've got x plus 8. Then we factorize out from the last 2 terms. So what can we take out of there? I think let's take out maybe minus 1. So from there, what would you be left with? Well, x plus 8 this time. And so again, we've got the same 2 brackets here, which means we've done it correctly. And now pull these 2 out. So we've got x plus 8, and what's left over? X minus 1. And that's that one sorted. And then last one there on the end, exactly the same thing. So pick out 2 numbers. They're going to multiply to give me minus 84. And at the same time, those 2 numbers must add up to 5. That's the coefficient there of the x. So I'm thinking 12 and 7 this time. So maybe 12 minus 7. So 12 and minus 7. So 12 there, minus 7, and 12 and minus 7. So I think that works. 12 times minus 7 is minus 84, and 12 take away 7 gives me 5. So those are definitely good. So what should we do? Let's rewrite our quadratic now. So x squared plus 12x minus 7x, and then minus 84. There we are. And so start by factorizing the first 2 parts here. And so we'll have x, and then x plus 12. And then the next 2 parts over here. So again, you've got minus 7, minus 84. I think we can factorize out a minus 7 from there, and then you'll be left with x plus 12. So you know, you can always make sure that you factorize this correctly by expanding this part out again to make sure that it definitely equals this. And so we've also done it correctly because the two brackets match up. Factorize that out, x plus 12, and what you left with, x minus 7. And there it is. So there's going to be our answer. So there we go. 3 quadratics all factorized. Hopefully that helps. And then we'll move on to some more difficult quadratic next time. Maybe ones with negatives in front of them. So stay tuned. I'll see you again in the next video.